Hello and welcome to Reality Check. We are coming to you from Mumbai, the first of our two-part series on the battle for Mumbai. Now, Maharashtra crucial, 48 seats, second largest after Uttar Pradesh. Mumbai with 6 seats, small in number, but what happens here has an impact across this entire state. Now, tonight, our focus is on the Mumbai North Central seat because it's a prestige battle. Priya Dutt of the Congress versus Poonam Mahajan of the BJP. In 2014, Poonam wrested this seat, a Congress bastion, from Priya Dutt, some say because of the Modi wave. This time, how is it going to play out? We jostled our way through the streets of this constituency with Priya Dutt to ask her what made her change her mind. She was reluctant at first and then she came in to the fight. But first, I sat down with Poonam Mahajan in her war room, not far from here, to ask her why she thinks she has the winning strategy. Now, Poonam, first tell us a little bit about where we are here. Now, what are all these very young, millennial-looking people doing?
All have different way of working on things. First of all, there is a team which sits only for booth pramukhs, connecting with people in my constituency, whoever in past 5 years came to my office, interacted with me, met me. I think they must have called almost 8 lakh people and spoke to them, chatted with them, asked them, do you want us to do more and please vote for BJP? This is what we did.
So these are the sort of things they're doing.
Yeah,
right.
and
I'm told you have a very cool Instagram handle. We're going to have a look at that in a second. But one of the cool things I was shown is the Poonam Mahajan merchandise. There's a whole lot of T-shirts and they've been sort of kept here. So if you could just pass some to Poonam so we can have a look at what exactly is going on here. Okay.
So this we all know since 15th of April, 6:30 a.m. all of us were looking at it.
Can we see what's so just turn it around once again. So Game of Thrones, Game of Votes, election is coming, and then on the other side, Mumbai North Central Poonam Mahajan. Okay.
With a symbol.
Nice.
And these are all their ideas.
Only Muggles don't vote. Okay. Harry Potter reference.
Yes.
Nice.
So the reference is very millennial. I work a lot with United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, especially goal number 5.
Right.
And for women to get together, so we have amazing girls on the team who talk
that's
about
nice.
gender
There's one. Hold on. There's a Star Wars. Is there a? I saw someone showed me like a Star Wars T-shirt. Is that there?
Sure.
If you have that, then you can show that as well.
Okay. Now this is this.
Because I'm a Star Wars fan.
Yes, this is the famous one.
May the vote be with you.
Yes.
Okay.
And we are encouraging people to vote, come together.
And then what are these? This is, I think, not my generation, but yeah.
Imagine, I have never used these, but my daughter is using it or my son is using it. These are pop sockets, which are needed for the phone.
What would you say to those who say that last time you just simply won on the back of the Modi wave?
So this time I'm not saying anything about it. I believe there won't be any Modi wave in 2019. There'll be a Modi tsunami against all the opposition people who are
Modi wave, you're saying this will be Modi tsunami.
Because Mahagathbandhan will be actually drawn apart by the Modi tsunami. So this is what I say. But most importantly...
Tsunami, by the way, people use tsunami a lot, but tsunami is not a great thing.
It's a destruction of opposition.
People die in tsunamis.
So I know what tsunami is. So it's all about destruction and the destruction of opposition's idea to stop Modi, stop development and coming together where they were never together with their ideologies.
Okay. So Poonam, here's the thing, that before we get into Mumbai specific stuff, what your critics, when I say your critics, I mean the critics of the BJP are saying, is that this time around you have moved away from bread and butter issues of Vikas and the focus is just been on airstrikes, Balakot, Pulwama, terrorism, Pakistan, polarization.
No, I don't think so. I think media is looking at it in a different way. When you look at BJP's Sankalpa Patra, it is nothing about Balakot, terror strike, or what has happened in past few months.
But every speech that the Prime Minister is making, every senior BJP leader is making, is
Prime Minister
exactly
in
that
his
language.
speech talking about we need to strengthen our army. I think nothing is wrong. He's not saying vote me for the sake of my army. He's saying we want to strengthen our army. We want to keep our country intact. I think that's not a political statement.
I have to correct you there because of late he's actually started literally saying vote for the BJP because of the army. He said, will you dedicate, he said, first time voters, I ask you to dedicate your vote to the martyrs of Pulwama. That is directly seeking votes on our martyrs.
I haven't heard that, but the thing is, when you're talking about strengthening your army, when you're talking about patriotism, I think that's nothing wrong to it. When you talk about hyper-nationalism and hyper-anti-nationalism, there the catch comes politically. But when he's talking about being patriot or nationalist, I don't see any harm. Every youngsters want to be.
The Election Commission has actually categorically said, and it said it more than once, that you cannot politicize the armed forces. But
I
the
agree
BJP
with
is still doing it.
We are not doing it, and I agree with it. That's why Election Commission is keeping a strong watch on everyone.
Okay.
And they haven't found anything wrong in Honorable Prime Minister's speech. So let's see how it goes.
Now, here's a statement. I'm going to ask you whether you disagree or agree with it. I won't say who said it. Let me just read the statement out. All infiltrators in this country except Buddhists and Hindus are going to be kicked out. You agree with the statement?
See, NRC is a very impactful issue, which is the Assam Accord happened in 1985.
Yes, but
that was used very politically. See, you cannot just use a statement. The reason behind the statement is we are for NRC. We will be talking about Indians. We will be talking about strengthening our Indian democracy, not getting
Muslims are not Indians?
See, it's
Christians
not about
are
Muslims. No, I'm sorry. I have more Muslim and Christian voters in this country.
But that's
we are
why
talking
I'm
about
asking you.
Indian. We are talking about Indian citizens. We are talking about people who are actually minorities in other countries. So if there are Christians also, they'll be welcome. I don't think
but
so.
But Mr. Amit Shah didn't say that. He said that we will kick out all infiltrators, and he specifically said, he didn't say illegal infiltrators. He specified the religion of those who are not considered infiltrators,
no, it's all about
saying Hindus and Buddhists. So
NRC,
he clearly indicated that those are the two categories
so you should
that are considered Indian citizens and the others aren't.
You should be seeing Mr. Shah's even speech, which he put it on Rajya Sabha, when he spoke about illegal infiltrators. And he spoke very precisely. He told everyone how it should be done and how it was politicized before. So I think taking one sentence out of some speech is not going to make any difference to it. But we are abiding, we are law-abiding citizens. We'll stand by NRC and we'll stand by every minority who's suffering in other countries.
Now, tell me about your track record. You know, I know that you will have a huge list of things, but what I picked up was amongst the things that you take credit for is that you built 1,400 plus toilets. Is that right?
Yes.
And you also
1428 to be precise.
1428 toilets. And you also rehabilitated slum dwellers who were displaced by the airport widening.
80,000 families will be displacing. 15,000 will get houses in 3 months, and rest of them will get 65-acre land. And
these toilets are all built. They're well maintained. We're going to send somebody to fact check this.
Yeah, sure. I won't be saying 100% everything is well maintained, but what we try to do when we create these toilets, we connect with a lot of organizations there, and especially people staying there. They have their mandals, Mahila mandals. We tell them to work on behavioral changes and try to help them out to keep it clean, use it properly. I have a lot of young NGOs also, like You Are Unstoppable, Swachhalaya, has been helping me in schools also to help them out. So I won't be saying it's a 100% track record, but we are really trying our best to do better.
We are here in Kurla West, which is a part of Poonam Mahajan's constituency. Poonam Mahajan claims that she has built around 1,400 toilets in her entire constituency, and especially in Kurla West, she has helped resettle people who have been displaced by the airport expansion. So we do a fact check on her claim.
शिफ्ट करने के लिए जो है यहाँ पे हमारे बीजेपी के जो खासदार है पूनम महाजन जी और सीएम जी, उन्होंने बड़ी सभा रखी थी और उन्होंने हमें ये कमिटमेंट दिया कि उन्होंने प्रॉमिस किया कि जो बारिश के पहले वो लोग जो है हमें शिफ्ट करने वाले हैं यहाँ से, और उसमें से उन्होंने स्टार्टिंग के जो 99 फ्लैट्स हैं उन्होंने वो भी जो है उन्होंने उसका भी जो बंटवारा है उन्होंने उस समय कर दिया था, लेकिन उसका भी कुछ अभी तक जो है हलचल कुछ हुआ नहीं है, और हम लोग को कुछ अपडेट भी, यहाँ के रहवासियों को कुछ अपडेट भी नहीं है कि उनका आगे क्या चल रहा है।
वो 21 दिन का टाइमिंग दिया था जो आप लोगों को शिफ्ट कर देगा, लेकिन 2 महीना होने को आया, अभी तक उसका कोई पता नहीं है। टॉयलेट का जहाँ तक सवाल है, एक भी टॉयलेट यहाँ पे बना नहीं है। वो 15-20 साल हो गया वो टॉयलेट को, उसी में आदमी सब यूज करते हैं और सबको बहुत तकलीफ होता है, वो भी टूटा फूटा है।
गंदगी बहुत है यहाँ पर कोई बनाता नहीं टॉयलेट, जो पहले से है वही है, पूरा एरिया उसी में आता है। आधा घंटा पौना घंटा हम लोग को लाइन लगाना पड़ता है, और गंदगी इतनी झेलनी पड़ती है। 1000 रुपया महीने का मच्छर के पीछे खर्चा होती है, बाकी सारे बच्चे बीमार पड़ते हैं यहाँ मच्छर से।
देखिए पूरी कचरा का एकदम ऐसे सब ऐसा रहता है, कोई नहीं देखभाल करने आता इधर, पूरी गंदगी रहती है इधर।
टॉयलेट सब अच्छा बना हुआ है, परंतु उसका साफ सफाई नहीं है, पूरा नहीं हो रहा है। बाकी तो सब चीज़ साफ, जैसे गली में है तो हमारे झोपड़पट्टी वाले का साफ सफाई नहीं है, प्रतिदिन होना चाहिए वो नहीं होता है।
Although Poonam Mahajan claims that one of her achievements is that she has built toilets across her constituency, and when we did a fact check, we did find toilets across her constituency, but maintenance is a big problem here.
Okay, here are a few things that your critics and your opponents are saying about you. One is they're saying about your net worth, that it was 12 crores in 2009, jumped to 108 crores in 2014, and now it's just down to 2.2 crores. Explain?
I don't need to explain. I have put my affidavit right in front. When you're putting your affidavit in elections, that's a sworn taken affidavit. So affidavit has cleared up everything.
Okay, but since we have a chance, you're live on NDTV, you can explain how you've gone from 108 crores down to just 2 crores in 5 years.
I did explain it to everyone.
Okay.
The business has failed and we need to clear up everything as proper law-abiding citizens. Sold off all my assets, gave back everything. That's why it just come down. That's about it.
You launched a business venture and that didn't work out.
My husband, not much. I won't understand much of a business venture, but yes, it did not do well. Okay. And it's normal. I mean, I want to accept it and put it forward. And by God willingly, we'll do better also in coming years.
Okay. Priya Dutt against you. She's been a 2-time MP. There is the legacy, the goodwill of the Dutt family name. She claims she's had an enviable track record as an MP. Are you worried?
Worried about what?
Priya Dutt.
No, I mean, I'm not worried about my opponent because when the opponent is not even as an opposition when they were sitting MP for past 5 years, people could not see her. Priya writing a letter saying that I don't want to be part of election process and suddenly saying my president told me to contest. So I just see a difference between are you talking for your people of your constituency or are you abiding the rule given by your president? So I'm not worried about that. What worries me is one statement I read somewhere, she said, I'm fighting for my children.
Okay.
Their future is important to me. So
right.
India's future is important. All these youngsters are children. I'm also a mother of 2 kids. Let's not get into a fight of ideology. Let's get into, as I've said, accessibility and accountability. When you're fighting an election, of course there are national interests, national issues. But
yes,
as a member of parliament,
she meant. When she says her children, she meant, I suspect, the future that her children are going to grow up in.
But exactly in 15 days when your president pressurizes you to contest an election, after you saying you're not going to, suddenly that future is in danger in 15 days. It just amuses me, but that's not important. What is important? Any member of parliament or sitting or ex-member of parliament should be contesting on issues. Issues which are related to people in the constituency, and that's what we have to look forward to.
Now, I wanted to ask you about when you mentioned the word nepotism in the context of the Congress. Priya Dutt is, she's in a way a dynast. She comes from a political family. You come from a political family. How does the BJP today get some kind of moral advantage or higher ground on family and dynasty?
Very much. I'll tell you why. Let me give you my example.
Yes.
Poonam Mahajan.
Yes.
I've been in politics for 13 years. Lost an election which in 2009, which was not my father's constituency. Actually, it was assembly election, which was my father's constituency, but I did not know how to contest an election. I learnt a lot from that defeat. 2014, Poonam Mahajan contesting an election which has no connect with BJP also. We did get this constituency in 2009 and it has nothing to do with my father. I started from being in 2007 as a Maharashtra Yuva Morcha Mahamantri. Then I started my journey in politics. So it's all about how do you perform. Having a last name is not something which I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, it's just everything on platter. Your accountability in what your performance is not important.
Are you saying, hold on, are you saying that when it's BJP dinners, it's all on merit? When it's Congress dinners, then it's all on name?
You can see that. You can see that from the Congress president to their all MPs and MLAs. Holding their parents' seat, that is okay.
Right.
Performing, not performing, doesn't matter.
Hold on. So Poonam Mahajan, Pankaja Munde, Rajnath Singh's son Pankaj, etc., etc., etc.
So
all these people are. Well, he did earlier.
No, but he is not contesting from his father's constituency, and his father doesn't have a constituency. Now he's contesting second time from Lucknow. So I'm trying to explain it very openly, explaining it, and what is all about is performance. I'm not saying last name is the problem. Problem is performance. Congress president failed for past 13 years when he was the vice president and president. There was no question asked for that. And suddenly he becomes a president after losing 3-4 more elections. So this is what I'm looking at. having a last name again is not a problem. What is nepotism? It's about having a control, generations after generation after generation. There's no accountability as a leadership.
Poonam Mahajan, thanks very much indeed for talking to us.
Thanks very much. So nice to see you. Thank you.
So we are here now with Priya Dutt, who's facing off against Poonam Mahajan as we walk through this constituency of Mumbai North Central. Priya, great to be here walking with you. Now, this is something which almost didn't happen, right? You opted out.
Yes.
All of that.
Yeah.
Firstly, tell me, why had you opted out?
I had, 5 years. I was not member of parliament. It gave me an opportunity to really refocus on my life and look at the direction I want to go in. And I started working and putting all my efforts in Nargis Foundation. And,
the foundation that was named after your
which
mother.
my father had started in 1981.
Okay.
So, and I was really, really looking at a new avenue of my work because I've always loved to work my hands on with people.
Then what changed?
I have been very aware of what was happening in the country, and I used to be wearing my blinders on most of the time because everything I saw, even the news, everything I read in the papers was something which was really
upsetting you.
Upsetting, and so I literally was angry in many ways.
What specifically? Like, give me one or two specific examples. What was upsetting you?
Every time I was opening a newspaper, it was only about, this one being killed because of reasons of religion, or because of who they are or their faith.
Right.
Or it has never happened before. My father was such a person who always fought for, national integration, always fought for humanity. And for me to really go through that and constantly read this kind of really bothered me a lot.
That's what made you feel you wanted to jump in?
When I spoke to Rahul Gandhi and I actually went to tell him that, listen, I'm not going to fight this election because I'm unable to deal with this kind of thing. And he told me one thing, it was very, very nice. And he didn't tell me, please fight. He just said that I completely understand where you're coming from, Priya, but I think you're thinking too much about it. We all are fighting, and we are not fighting for ourselves.
Okay.
We are fighting because we need to fight this. And that made me think. I said, what the hell am I doing? I mean, there is people like us and like-minded people have to somewhere get down and be able to give back, make a difference somewhere where we can.
So this idea that Rahul Gandhi convinced you, is that what? No, because the perception is you were reluctant, you didn't want to contest.
Yeah.
Rahul Gandhi, you had that famous conversation.
I did have a conversation, but it was not about him convincing me. He did speak to me, and I, definitely put my things forward and why I didn't want to contest and stuff like that.
Right.
And when he said that, it's your decision.
Okay.
And that is when I thought
that you wanted to jump in.
That if I'm getting this platform, and if I can make a difference, I have always worked with my father. I've always done stuff where we've always wanted to kind of contribute something.
Right. Right.
For the better good.
Right.
And I think this was the time, where, and I keep telling people, like, all of us who really believe in, a united India, who believe in, togetherness.
Right. They have Priya Dutt masks here, by the way. They're standing there. One second. Wow, Priya Dutt. I've never seen. I've seen Modi masks and I've seen Priya Dutt masks. That's sweet. So that still remains. But one thing you said is that one of the reasons why you'd hung up your boots is because of family. Right? You wanted to, you're looking after your children.
Yes, very much. That is a big part of it. Yes. And my work at that time really allowed me a great balance.
But now, what's going to happen to family?
Now, I will have to make that balance.
Okay.
And I've said that right in the beginning. When my first election happened, I was pregnant with my child.
Right.
I had my 2 kids in 10 years, from 2004 when I fought my election to 2014. So, I did balance my time in a better way and things. But I always said that my family is my priority. When they need me, I will always be there.
What about Poonam Mahajan? Because she won with a huge landslide last time, and she says she's done a lot of work. She's built toilets. She's rehabilitated slum dwellers. All of that.
See, I will not comment on Poonam on a personal level at all, and
No, I'm not asking you personal. I'm asking you work.
So the work, what I see, and I can only tell you what I see as I've gone out. I've spoken to a lot of people. There has not been any work that is visible to people. I know I read the whole thing about how many toilets have been built, especially about 1,486 toilets. That accounts to nearly one toilet a day, okay, which is pretty much impossible. And even if you look at 1,486 toilets and calculate it with 25,000 an average one toilet,
right,
all your MP-led funds are gone in that.
Right.
So that I will say that is not happened. We don't see it visibly on ground. I also feel that a lot of hype has been given to various things which have not worked in the area, or there has been a huge hype on issues which have been like not really connecting with the people. You like in our constituency there was a Make in India, which happened in this constituency. It was huge.
But nothing happened.
Crores of rupees spent on, showing off Make in India, but nothing has happened on that.
What about the Modi factor? Because, one thing could be to say, okay, Poonam Mahajan, she may have done something, she may not have.
Yeah,
but the fact that, Mr. Modi is popular, especially in cities, you're up against that.
See, I don't see the wave of Modi like I did in 2014. Even when I fought the election 2014, I could actually sense a wave. Even halfway through
You don't see a wave?
I don't see a wave. I don't see a wave. I, in fact, see a lot of people, when you talk to people, you can actually judge from their reactions. Because what meetings we are having more small group meetings. We are not having large things like Padyatras and all.
Right.
Smaller group meetings, which are very interactive. So, when we are talking to people, we are explaining to them, 5 saal mein kya hua, kya nahi hua, and asking
So you don't
questions.
see that kind of...
I don't see that.
Poonam Mahajan says there's no wave. She says there's a tsunami. She's saying... She's saying there's no Modi wave, there's a Modi tsunami this time, which is going to destroy the opposition.
I think the tsunami left our country in shambles last time. So I don't believe this is any tsunami, and I think they're still cashing on to them, trying their best to cash on to that, which I don't feel that it's going to work.
Now you're saying you're able to, you have a setup which is, we can see quite a few.
Yeah.
So are these are Congress and NCP, is it the alliance?
Yeah, it's Congress, NCP, alliance.
Congress भी है, NCP, दोनों हैं यहाँ पे साथ में.
बिल्कुल साथ.
अच्छा, सब साथ लड़ रहे हैं. और क्या लग रहा है इस बार? Last question before you carry on is that now that you're in, are you all in? That, if you win, you will serve your 5 terms as an MP.
Like I said, I'll never take on something I cannot deliver on.
Okay, but
I will.
But if
I have committed myself, I commit myself fully.
But if you lose, Priya, suppose you lose, but will you then opt out of politics, or will you then stay and fight the good fight?
I will always fight the good fight. I have never, even this time, I never opted out of politics. I opted out of electoral politics.
Okay.
I was always working with the party.
Right.
So, and I was doing my work.
Okay.
So, even if as you said, if you lose, what happens?
Right.
I will always be part of the party.
Right.
I will continue my work.
Right.
With the Nargis Foundation. I will be
Right.
always in touch and continue my work as I always did.
Okay, I want to ask you one last question. It's getting a bit dark here, so Sanjay, my camera person, is getting a little worried. So we'll come out from the dark into the light for my last question. One of the things that's been absent generally these days in politics is decency.
Yeah.
But you and Poonam Mahajan, that way I have to say, have been generally fighting a clean fight. Outside of the political battle, what do you think of Poonam? And what would you say to her?
Poonam is a very, very nice girl. I know her, as a person, and I think she's very, very sweet, and she's always been very respectful and very nice with me.
Yes.
And we both try and maintain that of each other, and I think that is how it should be. No matter which party you belong to or what you have.
एक सेकंड हाँ बस खत्म ही होने वाला हाँ so you were saying on Poonam, so anything outside of that?
There is nothing personal here,
right,
and I think it should be maintained that way.
Okay, that's a good note to end on. Priya Dutt, we wish you all the very best, and let's see how it plays out on the big day. We'll let you carry on with your Padyatra. Thanks very much. Thanks. So that was Priya Dutt. She says this time there is no Modi wave. Last time was a tsunami, no Modi wave. We heard Poonam Mahajan's view. We'll have to see how it unfolds here in this crucial battle for Mumbai. That's all the time we have on Reality Check. Thanks for watching. Good night.